Welcome to another episode on Christian Revival Stories, where we bring you real-life accounts of divine encounters, transformation, and unshakable faith in the face of hard choices. Today's story is titled, The Deeper Brother Who Struggled with Denouncing His Second Wife After Being Born Again. Is restitution a hard scriptural doctrine? Let's dive into this powerful journey of conviction, transformation, and sacrifice. Ola's early life. Ola Yusuf Joshua was born 45 years ago in the heart of Osun State, Nigeria, a place rich in Yoruba heritage, but also heavily influenced by Islamic tradition. His father, Alhaji Yusuf, was a devout Muslim with 3 wives, a custom that was not just accepted but honored in their community. Ola, like many sons of the faith, grew up seeing polygamy as a natural and moral way of life. From early on, Ola was taught to memorize Arabic verses, fast during Ramadan, and observe Islamic rites. As he matured into adulthood, he too followed the family tradition by taking 2 wives, Fatima and Aisha. Working at the Nigerian Railway Corporation, Ola led what many would call a successful and responsible life. A devout Muslim, a family man, and a civil servant. But little did he know that a divine interruption was on its way. The persistent brother. At the railway office, Ola met Rotimi, a quiet, humble man who was known for being peculiar. He dressed modestly, spoke with grace, and seemed to always have a small booklet or tract in his hand. Rotimi was a member of the Deeper Life Bible Church. And while others in the office thought him to be strange, Ola found him tolerable, though overly religious. Rotimi had a simple but relentless evangelism strategy: give out tracts and the church's journal, the Women Mirror, to whoever would take them. And Ola, perhaps out of politeness or curiosity, always took them. In fact, his home had a small pile of unused tracts and journals gathering dust in a corner. Yet Rotimi never stopped. He didn't preach loudly. He didn't argue scriptures. He simply planted seeds, quietly, patiently, prayerfully. The tract that turned everything. One evening, tired from work and unable to sleep, Ola began to tidy his sitting room when his eyes caught the title of a particular tract. Logical but wrong. That title was curious. It didn't sound religious, it sounded philosophical. He picked it up and started reading. As he read, something shifted. The tract explained how many people logically reason themselves away from truth. Ola saw his own story in the words, how he'd reasoned through Islam, culture, and tradition all his life, but never really encountered the truth of salvation in Christ. That night, he didn't sleep well. The tract kept replaying in his mind. Could it be that all this while, he'd been wrong? The turning point. At work the next day, Rotimi handed him yet another tract. This time, Ola didn't just take it. He stopped Rotimi and said, "Brother Rotimi, I think I want to know this Jesus you always talk about. I want to be born again." Rotimi was stunned. The quiet prayers had been answered. He gently took Ola aside, and right there, during break hour, he led Ola in the sinner's prayer. That day, a hardened Muslim man became a new creature in Christ. Rotimi then connected him to a Deeper Life Bible Church close to his residence, and Ola began a discipleship class. This was the beginning of a new life, but not without its battles. The doctrine that shook him. During one of the foundational classes, the group began a study on the 22 Bible doctrines upheld by the church. When they got to restitution, defined as making amends for past wrongs, Ola felt a chill down his spine. The preacher explained that restitution could involve returning stolen goods, apologizing for falsehoods, or correcting marital errors. Then came the blow. A Christian man must have only one wife, as God originally intended in Genesis 2 verse 24, the two shall become one flesh. Ola was shaken. He had 2 wives. It wasn't adultery, not in Islam. It was legal, even honorable. But now, was he to undo it? The thought troubled him. What about Aisha, his second wife? They had lived together for years. Was he to simply send her away? Wasn't that unfair? The internal battle. Ola sought counsel. Several senior pastors explained the biblical stance, showing how polygamy was a deviation from God's original plan. They comforted him but didn't sugarcoat the truth. One elderly pastor said, "Brother Ola, following Jesus means denying yourself, taking up your cross, and obeying even when it hurts. Still, Ola struggled. He prayed. He fasted. He wept. He didn't want to hurt Aisha. She was not a bad woman. She had stood by him. But his conscience could no longer ignore the truth. Eternity was at stake. After several weeks of intense spiritual wrestling, Ola made the hardest decision of his life. The painful goodbye. One cool Saturday evening, Ola sat Aisha down. With tears in his eyes, he explained everything: his salvation, his conviction, and the biblical requirement to live with only one wife. Aisha cried. Not out of anger, but out of shock and pain. She asked, "What did I do wrong?" Ola replied, "Nothing, Aisha. You've been good to me. But I met a truth that I cannot run from. I met Jesus." They agreed that she would return to her family. He gave her a generous parting support and assured her that he would always be responsible for their children. It was not easy, but it was necessary. Public backlash and hidden peace. News began to spread. Family and friends reacted. How could he throw her away like that? Is that what Christianity teaches? What happens to Aisha now? Will he pay for the years she spent with him? But Ola was unmoved. Not because he lacked emotion, but because he had found peace in obedience. Jesus said in Luke 14 verse 26, "If anyone comes to me and does not hate his father, mother, wife, yes, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple." Ola understood now, following Christ has a price. Today, Ola remains steadfast in the faith. He's become a respected brother in his deeper life church. His story is one of painful obedience and deep conviction. Is restitution a hard doctrine? Yes, it is. But it's also a holy one. And those who embrace it find true freedom in Christ. May God give us the grace to bear our own cross, to let go of what offends Him, and to hold on to what pleases Him. Because no matter the cost, Jesus is worth it. Thanks for watching Christian Revival Stories. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life stories that inspire your walk with God.